What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Building a Business. We are back here at Unleashed Strength Gym here in Manassas Park, Virginia. We're going behind the scenes at what it takes to open and operate a gym. Obviously, a lot of the topics we discuss are going to be gym specific, but a lot of the principles we discuss and go over are going to be pretty general as well and going to be able to relate to a lot of different industries. So if you have any specific questions on opening a gym, running a gym, or just business in general, definitely drop them below, give us a like, and help us grow this channel and let us know what you guys want to hear about. So today I want to talk about what branding and business means to us personally, our kind of perspective on each of them, and how we're trying to improve on both sides of the equation and how you can too. As a quick disclaimer, I do not want to pretend that we are bigger than we are. We're a young brand, we're a young business with a modest following, with plenty of room to grow and plenty of things to learn. I just want to share my perspective, share some things that have been helping us grow and what these two terms mean to me personally, and how a greater understanding of both of them can take your company to the next level. So I have a few different characteristics that I want to use to describe branding and business so we can help differentiate between the two. When I'm thinking about the business side of things, I'm usually talking about short-term sales, transactions, and the numbers game. When I'm thinking more about the branding side of things, I'm looking at the long-term investment, the relationship building aspect of things, and also the personality of your brand. Hopefully you're able to see why we have two separate sides. There obviously is going to be a ton of overlap between these concepts, but there's also some really big differences between the two, and how we approach them is really going to affect our overall success with our company. So let's dive right into the first one. We have short-term sales versus long-term investment. As I said, both things are going to be important. Let's take a little better look at the business side of things. From a gym perspective, we obviously need to be able to close deals. We need to have new people coming through the door. We need to be able to close those sales. We need to have them pay us to use our facilities so we can actually operate the business. Without those funds, we're obviously not going to be able to keep the lights on, keep up with the rent, and keep up with all the other overhead expenses that we have. We have to have somewhat of a transactional relationship with these members. They can't just take shirts for free and use the gym for free without us having any sort of monetary gain. While theoretically a beautiful thing, we can't justify investing a ton of time and money into a space that's not going to sustain itself monetarily or provide some sort of revenue. And we have a lot of important numerical metrics to keep track of as well. We need to increase our monthly revenue. We need to make sure our membership count is going up. We want to improve our sales on apparel and drinks. All these business factors are of course really important, and those are the very things that are going to allow the business to run and operate and remain open. Now, as I said with branding, we're looking at the more long-term investments. And sometimes that means sacrificing the short sale for a longer term gain. One example that we use at the gym is your first workout's always free. So when we have new visitors come in, they sign their waiver and they get right to work. Now sure, we can justify a $10, $15, $20 guest pass for that first visit, but in the long run, I think it's a great strategy to have that first workout free. What I've noticed is people come in expecting to pay money, and instead of having to pay, they get their first workout free. Now they start their experience with a big smile on their face. They hopefully have a great workout, maybe set a new PR, and they leave with a great lasting impression of the gym. What I also find interesting is a rather large percentage of first-time visitors will buy some sort of merchandise on the way out. And in the long run, that's most likely going to be worth more to us than if they had paid that $10 up front. Not only do we make about the same amount of profit, they have a high-quality article of clothing that reminds them of our gym anytime they wear it, and now they're a walking advertisement for our gym. I can't help but think, because of that first workout being free, especially when it catches people off guard, it sets the tone for the rest of their experience at the gym, and they find themselves wanting to give back and wanting to be a part of the gym. Another way of looking at branding is you're sort of planting the seed. You might not be able to go pick the flower right away, but after days, weeks, even months of kind of nurturing that seed, you may eventually have the chance to harvest that beautiful flower. Likewise, all the little seeds that you plant that don't necessarily yield a direct transaction right away, if you nurture that seed and have that patience and continue to push a positive message, ultimately you may be able to close that sale with an even greater result. As opposed to just looking at people as transactions or numbers, we want to look to build relationships. Building a relationship with your customer is a really strong way to build your brand and develop a really strong customer and member base. By developing relationships with your customers, you show them that you're not just there to collect their money and that they're just another transaction or number, but you actually care about them as a person. This builds trust, confidence, loyalty, and they're most likely going to want to continue to purchase from you. As far as how we implement building relationships, we have a lot of things that are focused around the community-oriented setting. Firstly, as myself and Margot are the only two people that actually work at the gym, we've gotten to know and become friends with almost all our members. We talk about what's going on with their lives. We're able to check in with them, see how they're doing, talk to them almost on a daily basis. That was always part of the vision to me and Margot when we started the gym, was that we didn't want our members to feel like just another number, transaction, or member. Granted, it is easier for us to do that as we're a smaller gym with just about 200 members, but the principle remains the same. We have weekly group workouts, we have monthly events, and ultimately we just put forth the effort to get to know the people that are in the space. Finally, I like to talk about branding as the personality of the business. What are the characteristics or things that really make the business stand out? It's almost as if the company has its own entity. How does it act? How does it represent itself? What are its characteristics? It's almost as if it's this caricature of the company. Ultimately, I think it's great to develop a personality for your company. Not only does it give your clientele almost someone else to trust and to see, but it makes it more relatable and it gives people something to connect to. As far as what we've done to develop a personality with the gym, social media has honestly played a huge part in that strategy. Through our social media, we've been able to connect and reach a lot of people and develop this sort of presence and online personality. Margot and I have a decent sense of humor, or at least we think we do, and so we really like to push a lot of humorous content. We also like to provide motivational, educational, informational content as well. Not only does it help us to reach more people, and sometimes it even results in direct sales, but really this helps to build a brand, build a personality, make the gym and the brand more relatable to a lot of people, and it becomes a name that people can trust. So going back to business, how can you improve the business side of things? So in the context of this video, we're kind of talking about more of the money side of things on the business. Now when I look at the money side of things, I look at sales and I look at money management. Honestly, when you're looking at sales, you need to kind of incorporate the business and branding side of things. I think it's horrible for your brand to try to sell something that you don't believe in. First of all, it's really hard to sell something that you're not excited about. As an example, when I was in the professional world and job hunting, I remember going to job fairs and trying to sell myself to a recruiter for a position that I knew I really didn't want. It became really hard for me to explain why I wanted to work in that position when really I didn't want to at all. To me, it's similar. Don't try to sell something that you don't believe in, that you don't believe can actually help this person. First of all, I don't really think it's okay to lie. If you're trying to tell somebody that they need product A, B, or C, and you really know they're just gonna waste their money and ultimately not need any of those products, and those products aren't gonna help them, I don't think that's the right thing to do. Ultimately, people are gonna see through you, and if you don't believe in what you're trying to sell, then you're gonna have a hard time doing it. If you're a sleazy salesman, people are gonna see through you, and it's gonna kill your brand. You might even make that short-term sale, but are they gonna come back to you and trust you with more of their business in the future? So focus on being a problem solver. Focus on how can I fix the issues that you're having and ultimately provide you with the right products or services. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not the best salesman in the world, but it's something that I'm having to learn kind of on the fly. I've gotten better at trying to identify what people are looking for, what they need, and how we can provide them with the proper solution. I never feel bad about selling the gym because I know what we are providing is a great space, it's great equipment, and it's ultimately a service and product that people are gonna get a lot out of. So I believe 100% in what I'm selling, and in that regard, it's a little easier for me to sell. Ultimately, I have to get better at asking for the sale and really making that closing. Turning to the financial management side of things, that's something that everyone can really always get better at. You wanna make sure you're staying on budget. You wanna make sure you have a budget. You wanna make sure you're tracking expenses, tracking income, making sure all those numbers work. And just like the sales aspect of things, financial management has some branding aspects of it as well. How can you invest your money in this space to make sure you're actually building the brand as well? If you're just hoarding your money and not putting any money in the space, you're not making repairs, you're not making improvements or upgrades or having events, that kind of thing, that can ultimately be detrimental to your brand. Sure, you might save some money from those short-term sales, but what is that saying for the long-term branding side of things? So let's hop back to branding for a little bit. So I believe it's important to know and understand the qualities and characteristics that you want your brand and business to represent. We sort of have a lot of things that we try to focus on, but I want to focus on a few of the main ones. I want to be known as a kind and generous brand, a brand that exemplifies and encourages respect among all the members, among the staff, and among the community in general. I want to be known as a gym and brand that works hard. People will come in here to sweat and push their limits, but also a place and community that's supportive of its members. As I mentioned before, we like to focus on the humorous side of things. We enjoy lifting. We enjoy working out with other people. We like to work hard, but we also don't want to take ourselves too seriously. We like to come in and have a good time, but also put in the work. Being a supportive community is also really important to us. We have a wide variety of experience levels from beginners to all-time world record holders and everyone in between. What's awesome to see is everyone supporting each other, cheering each other on, and being there for each other. Lastly, I want to put forward a brand that represents humility. One of the many reasons I absolutely love our membership base, from our many amazing coaches to our all-time world record holding athlete to our many members, it doesn't feel like there's ego here. People come in to have a good time, put in the work, and ultimately better themselves. So when trying to brand yourself, figure out the characteristics that stick out to you. What's important to you? Where is there a gap in the market? What are you good at that you can do better than everyone else? Develop those characteristics and personalities and push that in your branding. In addition to being able to attack your niche, you're going to be able to stand out even more so if you can develop that personality for your business. Ultimately, business and branding are both two really important parts of opening and operating a company. There's obviously a ton of overlap between the two, and each part of your business can really be looked at through either lens. I believe it's important to have a good understanding of both so that anytime you look at a part of your business, you can see it through the lens of both business and branding. There's obviously plenty to discuss on these two ideas, and I'd love to dive deeper or expound more on these topics in the future. It's obviously vital and key to have the practicality to run the business for that short term. You need the money, you need the funds, you need to be able to keep the lights on, and you need to be able to stay open. On the other side of things, you need to be able to make sure you're building those relationships, you're building that brand, people can trust you as a company. You have to find a way to walk the fine line and balance the two. Another way of looking at business versus branding is sort of receiving versus taking. Now, obviously that's a very generalized way of looking at it, but I think it kind of puts things in perspective. The more that you can give to your current customer base, future customer base, the more value that you can provide, the more that you're gonna be able to build that brand. The more that you receive or ask for or take, the more that you're building the business side of things. Obviously, both are important, but paraphrasing Gary Vaynerchuk, give more than you take. Give as much as you can, take as little as you can. If you do that, you're gonna be able to accelerate the brand, and while you might not make as much money up front, in the long run, your sales are gonna be exponential. So start trying to figure out how you can balance the give and the take. Don't give so much that you have no money to keep the lights on, but don't take so much that you destroy your brand and reputation. I truly believe if you can walk that fine line and find that balance, you're gonna be able to explode your business and really just take it to the next level. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love this topic. I think it's a lot of fun. Let me know what you guys want to hear more of. If you want any clarification, if you got any suggestions, if you disagree with anything I said, definitely let me know, and I'd love to continue some conversations. Again, if you could please like this video, hit us with a subscribe, reach out to us on other social media platforms, and let us know what you guys want to hear about. If you have any specific questions to the gym industry, business in general, whatever it is, let us know and we'll see if we can cover it. Take care, guys. Hope you all are doing well, and we'll see you next time. Peace.